Hello, hello. Greetings, beautiful people. And thank you so much for joining in for Movement Medicine Morsels. We're continuing the theme this week of 10 minutes of love. So short, focused experiences in movement, breathing, and awareness that make a difference. So sometimes we don't have a lot of time, but knowing that we can make a shift, a positive shift in a short period of time is like gold. Today we're focusing on hips. I'm going to turn on my timer. There'll be gentle chimes at the end of 10 minutes and we'll culminate. But I invite you to sit nice and tall. We want to bring a beautiful posture no matter what. Even though we're focusing on hips today, it doesn't mean we're forgetting about the rest of the body. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit. And I want you to really nestle your sit bones in your chair. You can wiggle almost like you're moving from foot to foot, but it's feet on your pelvis. And then snuggle in and really sense both sit bones. Do the same with your feet. Tap your feet, look at your feet, run a little bit on the spot, and then place your feet and place your toes. You want to really feel your feet on the ground. So that takes care of our foundation. Now we also want to be tall. So let's tap at the top of the head. Let's use both hands. And we want to wake up the crown of the head and imagine that we're placing a little hook, a special hook here, and we're attaching a beautiful silk cord that goes up to the sky, and let yourself be lightly pulled up by that hook. See if you can feel a little bit of unfurling and elongation happening through the throat, through the spine, and pulling up. Now relax the arms, relax the shoulders, and see if you can maintain that very noble, beautiful posture. So you've heard me talk about suspension, or you'll hear it today for the first time. We want to feel a sense of suspension. That's the support from above, suspension. And we want to feel the stability from the earth below. And one more quick way, efficient way to feel that lovely elongation in the spine is to inhale and sweep the fingertips out in a big circle, reach up tall, interlace the fingers, bring the head forward to neutral, and then reach up with the hands. Press down with the sit bones and the feet and see if you can feel that extra stretch. Breathe smoothly here. Breathe in the sky. Fill your chest with good energy. Lengthen the space between each vertebra. And then staying tall, let your hands float down without losing that height. So here we are in our noble, beautiful alignment. Let's rest hands on the low belly just to bring breath in very consciously. Staying tall and rooted, inhale gently through the nose and fill a balloon of energy in your belly. Exhale, let it out with a soft sigh or through gently pursed lips. Let's do one more. Take your time. This is your time. And while we stay seated, we'll continue our breathing, our lovely suspension alignment, our stability, and we'll do a little bit of rocking through the hips and spine in the chair. So this is going to be pelvic tilting. We want to scoop the tail under, rolling it under. And as we inhale, we want to bring the small of the waist forward, arching the back. Exhale, scoop the tail under. You can even add the arms, copying me, if you want to get a little bit of shoulder action. Sometimes touching a part of the body helps it to wake up, be more connected. So we're thinking of the small of the back moving forward on that arch, and exhale, the small of the back goes forward, but I want that scoop under. Let's do one more. Nice big inhale and exhale, scoop under. And come back up nice and tall. I lied. We're going to do one more for the hips. This time, lifting one hip up to the side of the waist and then the other. I'm lifting one heel up, the heel of the hip that's going up. You don't have to. I'll show you what that looks like. One heel comes up, then it goes down. What we're looking for here is lifting a hip up into the side of the waist and keeping the chest pretty stable, but allowing it to move. And now let that get a little bit smaller, and 4 quiet pelvic circles in one direction. You can put your hands on your hips, on the bony bowl of the pelvis. Chest, of course, may want to get in on the action, but don't let it lead. Make sure that you are putting your love, your attention into your wonderful pelvis. The body is a clear place, said a great dancer named Eric Hawkins. And I really like that because it takes movement into a pure place without judgments of bad movement, good movement, pornographic movement, healthy movement, good girl, bad girl, all of that kind of stuff. It just brings it back into pure movement. Because if you don't use it, if you don't move your body, you're going to lose those opportunities. So we want to keep the options open. Okay, hope your hips feel a little awake. We're going to bring this up to standing now. And we'll start with the feet a little bit wider, around shoulder distance, and feel your feet. We're going to get that height again. Inhale, hands up, interlace those fingers, press the palms up, get your full height, and we'll take the hips over to one side. We want to have that tall, light body on top. Inhale up, exhale, lunging, inhale up. Lunging without collapsing the upper body. Inhale up, lunging, inhale up, and let the hands flow down without losing that height. And now the hips moving forward, again, while staying tall, just has to be a little bit. Again, don't collapse, lift up, and then the hips creasing a little bit. Lengthening the front of the hips, you can even brush the fingers up the front. Exhale, little karate chop helps you fold over your hips. Inhale and exhale. Okay, now we've got all the components to make a big hip circle. You can keep your knees nice and soft, and let's take the hips out to one side, bring them to the front, staying long, bring them to the other side, and then sweep them around the back. Take your time, stirring around, and please keep your knees unlocked and your ankles soft as well. Because if we brace any part of the body, it's going to send a tightening ripple up and through. Let's take those circles in the opposite direction. You can make them smaller, you can be a bit more upright, or you can, if it feels right, you can let your torso go a little further, but always keeping that feeling of elongation in the spine. So we're not crunching down on our hips, we're staying nice and big. Okay, feet a little bit closer, last little movement, just easy twisting, hands on the hips, just twisting the hips enough that you feel a little diagonal and respect your knees and keep tall. Okay, twist to one side. Now go in that diagonal. The hip goes out in that diagonal, then it takes a semicircle back, and voila, you're on the other diagonal. Take the hips through on that diagonal, circle them back, diagonal, circle, diagonal, circle. I'll turn sideways, diagonal, half circle, diagonal, half circle. So you're actually making a figure 8 when you put all of this together. Let it get nice and blendy and smooshy. And let's take our arms up and interlace our fingers and see if we can get that really tall, light upper body, creating space in our hips while we move our hips in a nice, juicy fashion. And let the hands come down and let the heels of the hands trace the same figure 8 as your hips. Breathing smoothly. The heels of the hands lead with the hip, then they trail the fingers. So the movement is like this, heels of the hands, fingertips. And let's just do a few more of these. You can even close your eyes, get into the feeling of it. Nice, smooth movements of the hips. Let these get a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. Ah, I love it when everything aligns. I'm just going to turn that off. You can keep swaying. A little bit of light swaying, and remember, feel your feet connected to the ground. Feel the crown of your head lifted up to the sky. Let this come to its natural close. Fold the hands over the low belly. Feel the earth, feel the sky, feel yourself on the perpendicular joining them. Feel your breath. Smile into your hips. Imagine that as you breathe in, you're circulating beautiful energy around the hip joints and sockets, creating space, creating frictionless lubrication. And let your body sway just a little bit like a supple piece of bamboo, knowing that you understand how to be grounded and also elevated or suspended, and you're still centered even if something moves you around. You know that inside there's a stillness and a suppleness, a responsiveness. And gently allow this to come to its own natural finish. Remind yourself of the crown rising to lengthen your spine and the feet sinking into the earth. Soft smile and breath. And remember that you can tap into this state at any time by remembering it, by feeling your feet, crown, breath, and smile. It's that simple. 4 magic ingredients. Repeat as often as required. Many blessings, and thank you so much for tuning in to this week's 10 minutes of summer love. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.